My next guest was one of the big winners this past weekend at UFC 283. It is Thiago Moises back here on the program. Thiago, how are you, man?
I'm doing great, man. How about you?
I'm doing awesome. And I see you're still in Brazil. This is something we talked about before the fight. How much nicer is it getting a win, back home in Brazil, and you get to enjoy yourself? It's a lot better than obviously if the result went the other way.
Yes, it's very nice to be here. I know in Brazil, get the win. Now I can celebrate with my family, my friends. It's awesome. I couldn't be happier.
That's great. How was the overall experience, fight week, everything, being back in Brazil, being a part of this card and getting to compete? Because I know we talked about this before the fight. You felt like you were going to be on the card, but there was always that, bit of doubt. Could they find you an opponent? They did, and you got the fight.
Man, felt great to fight in Brazil because the fans here, they are crazy. The energy is awesome. They were like fight week. They were there like every day supporting the fighters, and they giving that gave us extra energy, like motivated us. So I'm very grateful for the fans in Brazil. Yes, I didn't have any doubt on my mind that I was going to fight. Of course, like one day we were searching for an opponent. I was like, I had a little bit I wouldn't say, I had a little bit like anxiety, because I didn't know who I was fighting, and could be this guy or could be that guy, Then I just stopped looking, and I was like, okay, when they say this is the guy, then I'm gonna watch his fights, because I don't want to spend like time watching other guys. Then I ended up fighting somebody that like wasn't even an option, and that's what happened. And my manager told me, "Oh, don't worry, they're gonna find you somebody." So I just kept my focus. I kept my diet, and I'm glad I kept disciplined.
Yes, and the fight went through, which was great. I know you said there was no doubt you were going to win. Was there any added pressure because of the fact that he really didn't have a lot to lose here? You were the one with obviously, been in the UFC longer. This is in Brazil, I guess, for him as well. But was there any added pressure, or just like any other fight?
I think for me that was I felt more pressure on this one because he's a tough opponent. He has a lot of experience, a lot of fights, and he had nothing to lose. It was his first UFC fight. Well, this was my 10th UFC fight, so I felt like I had to win. I had to go there and dominate and get the finish.
Anything about him surprised you in the fight that maybe you weren't expecting?
Yes. How strong he was. He was very strong, and his takedown defense was much better than I expected to be. So I had like to keep giving him like different attacks. See if he would have like answers for everything, and I knew he would go down eventually, but I had like to really work for it. So I think that made my win even better.
Yeah. And you did get the finish. Very impressive. Obviously, that's the type of performance that is going to get people's attention in the division. Did you feel like there was a point you were going to finish him, or were you a bit worried? Like, what was your mindset going into that second round?
No, I knew I was going to finish him if I kept like pressure, if he kept the pressure, and just I knew the finish was coming. He would like give something to me. Mm-hmm. I had no doubt about that. I knew he was going to be strong in the first round, and I knew the first round would be the hardest one. So yeah, I had no doubt in my mind.
How did you celebrate after the fight? Again, you get this big win in Brazil. You've been waiting for this fight for a while. That's something we talked about as well. You wanted to be on this card. How did you celebrate?
Man, actually, me and my family, like, was the fight, they ended up late.
Yeah, like late into the night, early morning, I should say. Yeah, I think it was like 4 a.m. or something, whatever time it was.
Yeah, for here it was like 4 a.m., something like that, And like there wasn't much, there wasn't many things open. So me and my family, we went to McDonald's,
mm-hmm.
And that's me, my father, my mother, my brother, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, also my wife, So we all went to the McDonald's, and then we celebrated there, and it was a lot of fun. It was different, and we were together. That's what matters. I was happy, and it was good. It was really cool.
How does the McDonald's in Brazil differ from the one in the US?
Man, I think for me, I think the McDonald's in the US is it's better.
Oh, really? Okay.
For me, to be honest with you, I don't like McDonald's too much, you know.
No, it's not very good for you, but I have heard the
Yeah,
differences. Like if you go to
yeah,
different countries, it tastes different.
yes,
And
yeah.
maybe the reason the US one tastes better is because they put a lot of stuff you probably shouldn't be eating,
Hey,
right? I mean, I think that's pretty well known.
you gotta ask this to Grant. You know, he loves McDonald's, and he said his goal is to try McDonald's every country that he goes.
Okay, I'll take his word for it. Yeah, I'll definitely ask him that the next interview. The other thing that obviously happened on your card as well is Glover Teixeira fought in the main event and called it a career. I know Glover had a lot of impact on a lot of Brazilian fighters like yourself. What do you remember the most about Glover as he ends his career the same night you fought?
Man, for me, like he's an example of resilience. You know,
Mhm.
because he became champion with I think he was like 42, right, when he became
Yeah,
champion. So I can I cannot imagine, you know, like I'm 27 right now. Imagine like becoming champion 15 years from now. You
yeah, I
know,
know.
like I need to like keep working hard, like very hard every day, like for 15 years. So I think that takes a lot of resilience, you know, and a lot of heart also.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty impressive, you know. So I think he's a good example, you know, how generous.
Sorry, did you get a phone call?
No, so yeah, I got a phone call. Sorry.
Oh, no, no worries, no worries. Yeah, you were just talking about how generous Glover was and like his perseverance and all that.
Yeah, I think he's a good example how Brazilian people are. You know, like uh, they never give up, and I think that's what I take away from him. And he has a really good heart, also very humble guy, and he deserves all the success. I wish him all the best, and he's a fighter that I look up to him. You know.
And just last thing on the card, what did you make of the Brazilian fans leaving before the fight was over? I think that was a big topic of conversation. It's Glover's last fight. He gives this speech, and there's a lot of people out of the arena.
Man, I didn't like the reaction of like what they did with Glover, and I think he deserves way more respect than that. And I also don't agree, you know, as Brazilian, I don't agree what they did with Moreno, you know, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Fair
I,
enough.
I I hated that, you know, like I think like every fighter must like be respected, and you know, yeah, that's it.
Everyone's wanting to fight Paddy Pimblett, including yourself. Has there been any update on that fight?
No, like I heard he's going to through some surgery, something like that. I have no idea. But
Okay.
if he wants to step up his competition, I'm gonna be here,
Mhm.
you know. But I think he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna want to fight me. I think he wants to fight easier guys.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I kind of feel the same way after that last fight with Jared Gordon, which a lot of people I think felt
but
he didn't win that fight.
he did
Let
not.
me ask you this then: what would be next as far as an opponent? If it's not Paddy Pimblett, are there any other names that interest you at all?
Right now,
Well,
right
I'll
now,
throw out a scenario to you. Would you want to get the fight with Guram rebooked? I mean, that was a big fight for the weight class. I'm sure, a lot of people have respect for what he's accomplished in the
right, yeah,
division. Is that something you'd consider if the option was on the table?
yeah, I would consider fight him, but it's not a fight that I want. You know, he's like 1-on-1 in the UFC. He's coming from a loss. You know, I'm coming from like 2 wins. I think I not I wanna fight somebody that who is coming from a win also. I think that would be
Okay.
the best case for me.
Fair enough. The only thing I was going to say with Guram, though, one of the nice things, Mateos Gamrot fought him, right, to get some insight
Right.
from him, right? So that might help. But there you go.
Yep.
So you mentioned taking some time off. You're going to stay in Brazil for a bit. When would you like to have your next fight? Have you thought about that yet?
I think May would be a good time. You know, I'm gonna stay here in Brazil for a couple of weeks, but I'll be training like as much as if I were in America. You know, like 2 or 3 times a day. So
Mhm.
the only thing that's gonna change is that I'll be a little bit closer to my family.
Right. You're
But
going to get a lot of
besides,
home cooking while you're there. You got your parents making you any dinners or anything?
yeah, my mom is gonna cook a lot. You know, she's gonna she's gonna do like everything that I love. You know, I hopefully I don't get too fat.
Right. We don't want you going up to welterweight your next fight, right?
No,
You gotta stay away from too much cooking. That's
I'm gonna
good.
get
Eh,
spoiled, you know.
Do you have anything else planned while you're at home? Are you guys going anywhere? Are you just gonna train and stay with family? Anything you got planned?
Right now, just train, you know, stay with the family, and it's been a year, you know. I don't see them, so I just wanna enjoy every single day that I'm here. And we are going to do we're going to we're gonna do a vacation, but I don't know where yet, and when, so we're still planning.
And just last thing, what was it like being a part of this Brazil card with Grant Dawson in your corner? You guys have become good friends. He got the Brazil experience, I'm sure, getting to corner you. How was that for him?
Man, I think he loved it a lot. You know, here in Brazil, it's very different than the America. You know, what he loved the most, I think, was the food. He loved
Yeah.
the food. Food here tastes really good. You know, so I think one thing that he loved the most was the food. So, and he was happy to be here. Also, I was happy to have him here with me, and
Yeah.
cannot wait to be on his corner again. And we are 4-0, 4-0, 4-0 together,
Yeah. Well,
and
let's
like
keep it.
two same submissions.
Yes, that's right. I know you guys have been on a roll, and hopefully that continues here for the rest of the year. Thiago, thank you so much for doing this, man. Go enjoy the rest of your time off with the family. If there's anyone you'd like to thank before we get out of here, any sponsors or any social media you want to plug, I'll give you the last word.
I would like to thank you, my coaches, my teammates. They were really important for me on this fight. You know, everybody at American Top Team. And if you guys want to follow me on social media, Thiago Moises MMA. And yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good one.